Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your closing bell for Monday, May 30th, 2022. Happy Memorial Day to all, and thank you to all that has served and lost their lives for our freedom to give us everything that we have today. Without you guys, there would be no US of A, and we wouldn't have the freedom that we do have. And the people that are serving currently now, thank you. It's been a great weekend overall. Had a breakfast bankroll in Sunday morning, and for the ECSI VIPs, I put together a 3 or 4 legged parlay, whatever you'd like, plus 465, plus 830 or 40. And what stings the most is I had a couple games on the desk. I had the Brewers, I had the Red Sox, and I'm not playing Monday morning quarterback here. We had 3 winners. We had the Celtics money line, we had the Braves run line, and we had the Rays. I talked to Riley, said I think they were trying to bait you into the Yankees and trying to get Yankee money there, and the Rays prevail. We had the Guardians, who gave up 2 solo homers and lost 2-1. And what really stings on this one is they were a minus 150 on the money line, but most people don't peel back the onion layers. They were minus 105 or minus 110 on the run line. So think about it. It wasn't a minus 200. It wasn't a minus 220. It wasn't a minus 190. They were a minus 150. And Vegas is telling you, not only do we think they're going to win today, we think that they're going to cover the run line too. And so, unfortunately, they lose. Today, great start to the week. Marlins first 5 cash 1-0. Lopez hangs on there. Currently going right now, Astros run line. And they're up 5-1 in the 8th. That last check there. Alvarez with a couple homers. I was talking to our buddy, Mr. Lucky, and I'm not going to play a 14-1 shot for a home run derby, home run leader. But that was the one guy I talked about that probably when hot is the most dangerous. He's got 2 today. And we got 1 game left also. So we could have a great start to the week. But anyways, let's bring him in. He is from the Sunshine State. He's getting all antsy because he's got a chance to go back to the Cup tomorrow night. Actually, he's already in the Cup. Excuse me. Let me backtrack that. He's been waiting for a week. I don't know if he wants the Rangers or Carolina. If I was him, I'd probably want Carolina, seeing they're 0-6 on the road, and there's no Shesterkin Carolina. He's the one guy I think that could keep the Lightning from going to their 3rd Stanley Cup. But let's bring him in, the one and only Mr. Scott E. Webb. Afternoon, Scott.
Jeffrey, how are you? It sounds like a fun Memorial Day. You look like you got a little bit of sun today.
No, that was yesterday. 6 hours of weeding and planting 150 flowers. And listen, I'll be 56 in November. I used to work with my dad and other landscapers. I've worked at multiple golf courses, public and private. I can mow, cut, plant with the best of them. It's a young man's game, people. I told the wife, this is not a 1-person production, first of all. Second of all, there's no way in hell I'm going back and doing this next year. So take as many pictures as you want, because it ain't coming back next year.
I saw them. There was like 8 of them or something on I don't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter or something. I saw them, though. And I was like, damn, look at Jeff go. I ain't doing that shit, but look at Jeff go. I got up today and fell down the steps. How about that? Dumbass. But whatever, it is what it is. So anyway, what is it? It's Memorial Day. This is the time where you got to go, hey, what kind of baseball team we got? And I'm going to look at it on my phone because it's a hell of a lot easier than looking at it on this crap. I will tell you that when you look at the Major League Baseball standings, and let me get there, and then you look at the wild card standings, and you go and say, okay, in the American League, right now you got New York, Minnesota, Houston, Tampa Bay, Toronto. Those are the teams that are in. The Angels are 1 game back. The White Sox are 2.5 games back. Red Sox and Rangers are 3.5 games back of the wild card spots. So I'm just going to say it this way. I could see the Angels, getting hot and kind of creeping in there. But to be honest with you, if the Angels don't beat out the Astros, I'm not sure what they're going to do because Toronto's getting hot now. And once they start playing, I think they're going to build a little bit of gap there. And then the White Sox, they got to beat Minnesota. I don't think they're going to make it. So I'm almost looking at this going, there's not a whole lot going on in the American League. And then when you look at the National League, you got the Mets, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. They're all in right now. Then San Diego and St. Louis. And I think finally we're seeing what we're supposed to see from San Francisco. They're 3-7 the last 10 games. So I think they're going to fall back. The team that needs to get moving is Atlanta, and I don't know if they're going to make it. So I'm almost sitting here going, Memorial Day's here. Who's going to catch any of these other teams? I think it's almost kind of set in stone.
I've been talking about this team for a while, and I know you're very apprehensive about their pitching as well as you should be. I just think make pedigree, and if you remember last year, they came on like gangbusters. I'm not saying they're going to win the pennant, okay? I'm not. But keep an eye on those Redbirds. Keep an eye on those Cardinals. They have the veteran leadership. They got, Goldschmidt. They got Arenado. They got guys that have been there, okay? Yeah, you sprinkle in a pool host this year. I'm not expecting a lot from him, but the fact is they got some good young talent there as well. This Gorman kid has come up, and he looks like the next coming to Willie Mays.
Well, they needed that because their offense was sputtering because Arenado got off to a start and everybody started saying, hey, he's going to be the MVP of the year. And now he's batting 270 or something. He's not doing it. And Goldschmidt's got a 21-game hitting streak. But that's what happens when those guys get like that. The Cardinals can hit. And their best hitter, who's not hitting, he's out right now, O'Neill. That kid is like an MVP kind of kid, but he's not hitting and hasn't hit all season. So when he comes back, they might send him to the minor leagues, that guy. And he's a potential MVP.
Let me ask you a question. Teams aren't hitting. Now we know summer's coming, warmer weather. Now they're going to start to get in their groove. We're seeing some teams hit. I looked back at Fangraphs in the last 10 days. Houston's like 27th in offense, but once they get rolling, okay. We were 0-2 last week on 2 solo run homers beating us. The Rays lost to the Yanks, and then the Guardians yesterday costed us a lot of money. So if I said it this way, yeah, their pitching is not the greatest, but they sure can hit. Aren't they going to beat a lot of teams? Because a lot of teams can hit.
No, a lot of teams can't hit. And I think, here's what I think. We bet these games daily, every day. And because we bet them every day, offense matters. Over the course of 163 games, you better be able to pitch. And you better have pitchers. Because the pitchers keep you in every game to win them. You're not going to win like Toronto did yesterday, 11-10 in a slugfest every night. That's not going to happen because you're not going to score that many runs. It's impossible. I will tell you the batting average up to 239. We're creeping up there, man. It's getting there. It's almost 240. We are moving up. But it's moving up pretty fast, to be honest. I mean, every day I shouldn't say every day. It seems like every other day it's moving up one. And it's, it's getting there. I think, what other thing I think that we're seeing a difference in some of these guys in what matters. Contact matters, and they don't care about, like that. So, meaning that, moving the ball and putting the ball in play makes a difference to some of these teams. And the strikeout rates for some of these teams are really low, and for some of the teams are pretty high. Like the strikeout rate for the Atlanta Braves is atrocious. But if you look at the Washington Nationals, a team you would think is just terrible, they don't strike out much at all. So they put the ball in play. They just don't got enough guys that can do a whole lot, but they don't have the pitching. So the other thing that I think is kind of interesting with some of this stuff is that as the season is progressing and as we're moving forward, these call-ups make a difference. And you can see, in St. Louis's Gorman's case, he's done really, really well. But, there's not many of those guys on the horizon right now to sit there and go, they're going to be difference makers on teams that matter to make the playoffs. And I know what you're saying about St. Louis. I don't think taking a flyer on St. Louis is a bad idea, but who are they going to beat? Are they going to go in there and they're going to knock off San Diego? San Diego's got a pretty big lead.
No. And here's the point. And I know
they're going to catch Milwaukee.
Well, no. Okay, hear me out here. I mean, we have the extra wild card spot. When you break it down physically, and you take a Milwaukee's got the front end pitching. St. Louis currently doesn't. They're not going to catch them. Okay, I'll bow to that. San Diego's doing it without Tatis. Don't forget. And when he comes back, he just takes that team to another level. And they have some decent pitching. Okay, so you're right. Who can they beat right now? The Mets
are in right now.
No, I know, but I'm just looking long term. Mets have no Scherzer. We don't know what's going on with DeGrom. McGill will be back at some point. Okay, they don't match up well. I think offensively, currently, as they're right now, they're better than Atlanta. But I'll take Atlanta's pitching staff, obviously. So when we break this down, I'm just saying right now, we got 5 weeks till the All-Star break. This is where some teams are going to say, okay, we're going to be contenders. There's going to be some teams that were contenders that turned to pretenders. There's going to be teams waving the white flag and become sellers. It's just a matter of this next 5 weeks will tell us a lot. That's all.
Yeah, I think some of these teams are going to have to try to figure it out, right? Like the Red Sox. We got off to a bad start, and now the Red Sox are doing really well, right? So now what happens? Okay, are we competitors now? Are we going to try, or are we going to sell?
And you know what? I'll make it easy on everyone here. Okay. If you're not going to move, all of a sudden, Houck now is Whitlock. They want Houck in the back end and keep Whitlock. Okay. I'll close this segment out. Do everyone a favor. If you want to sell. Okay. JD's walking after this year. Evaldi's walking. Send Evaldi over to the Angels. I'd like to see Shohei, Evaldi, and a healthy Noah Syndergaard. I'd like to see them put the fear in God in the Astros and a few other teams. How's that one grab you?
No, I would too. I mean, I look. The Astros are good. The Angels can be just as good. I mean, they got. Well, they're not as deep, but they're pretty good. They got some stars on that team.
Shortened board, as we already have a 7-6 final. Milwaukee rallies the troops against the Cubs. St. Louis 6-3. And I looked at that. There was a flip early overnight. San Diego. St. Louis becomes the favorite over Naughton. I think there's a lot of people picking on San Diego when Martinez pitches there. Currently 3-3 bottom 9. San Fran and the Phillies. 4-1 Colorado, Miami. Again, we cashed first 5 Miami 1-0, and then we didn't have to worry of anything after that, and they've fallen apart. Detroit and Breesky beats Bundy 7-5. Currently, the Astros 5-1 over the A's. And pitchers duel, Heasley versus Plesac. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MLB games. A few about to go in about 15, 20 minutes, Scott.
Well, let me go with what I played, and then I can break down the other ones. And the first one that I played, I guess I better do these by time frame. Where's the time frames on these games? 8:10, 8:05. Okay, so I'll go to rotation 9:25, 9:26. This is Tampa Bay and Texas, and Texas been playing a little bit better. I mean, they're just a couple of games under 500 now. But this is the worst pitcher they got. Otto is the worst pitcher they got. I like the idea that the Rays won the last 2 games against the Yankees. I think that was important for them. And I think they carried that feeling over into this first game. Rasmussen's been really good, and Otto's very hittable. Let me pull up Otto. I got him right here in front of me. So looking at Otto's numbers, his strikeout rate's only 6.75, that's going to be the league low. That's a low number. But his walk rate's 5.40. So he is putting guys on base. And his batting average against is 263. And Jeff, we just said it wasn't even 240 yet for major league average. So they're hitting him. He's not fooling anybody. And his whip rate's 1.6. What makes it worse, his BABIP number is 293. So it's 293 for BABIP, 263 for his average. So a lot of times you're going to see a big gap there. And that gap is basically that one guy's a little lucky that or unlucky that the balls were hit in play to not where fielders are. Well, in this guy's case, he's pretty damn lucky that balls are being hit towards the fielders, and he's still not doing very well. His metrics, 5.14 xFIP, Sierra's a 5.35. So I like Tampa Bay here, but I'm going to play this a little different. I'm not playing it in the full 9. I looked at Texas's bullpen and go, well, should I go ahead and play against that bullpen? Well, they're over the last 14 days, their bullpen ranks 8th. So that's pretty good out of 30 teams, and probably a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting a lot lower number, and that's because I thought, well, if I'm going to play first 5, that'd be stupid if this is a bad bullpen. But they've been doing pretty good. So I decided I think the best way for me to go is to play Tampa Bay first 5 minus a half a run. And when I looked at that, Jeff, it was plus number. It's plus 110. I'm like, okay, that's good for me. I'll take it plus the 110 because I think they're going to win anyway. And all they got to do is, they got to win in the first 5 innings. And then the second game that I played was it's in the National League. What's the number? 913, 914. This is Atlanta and Arizona. This is Strider, and this is Gallen. I don't know if anybody knows who Strider is, but he's a relief pitcher. He throws 100 miles an hour, and he's I don't know. He's like a little rock star in Atlanta right now. I mean, everybody loves this kid. Anyway, he's the guy that says Huckleberry. I'm your Huckleberry. That's who this guy is. Anyway, I looked at just to try to get a length on him because my thought is this is a bullpen game for Atlanta. But if Strider has gone 3 2/3 innings and 4 innings in his outings as a relief pitcher, this will be the first time he started. So I'm hopeful that he'll go 3 innings or 4 in this game. And Gallen got smashed the last time he pitched. And that's the only time he's got smashed all season. So I'm expecting a good performance from him. So I'm looking at this 8.5 over number going, I think that's too high. So I'm going to play this one in the first 5 innings because I'm not going to let the bullpen do anything to me here. And I'm hoping that Strider pitches at least 3.5 to 4 innings. I'm going to go under 4.5 in the first 5 innings in this game.
Are you surprised that Atlanta's the favorite here?
A little bit. Excuse me. I need a drink. I think that because Gallen is not getting the respect because of his last performance. Coming into that last performance, people are going, "Oh, this Gallen guy's pretty good." And I told everybody, no, he's a top 10 good. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball good. And then he got wrapped. So Atlanta's not been the greatest offense. And if you remember, right, we go back, Arizona's been hitting the snot out of the ball, home runs and this and that. Even though Atlanta's got a little better offense over the last, say 7 days than what Arizona does. I don't expect there to be that much scoring here. Gallen hasn't pitched that much against Atlanta. When I looked at it from a perspective of familiarity, he's only got 22 at-bats against the guys on the Braves roster. I thought, holy crap, that's not very many because remember where they got him from. They got him from Miami. So he should have pitched against Atlanta, but Atlanta's probably changed out a lot of those guys that he's pitched out against in the past. So I looked at this and I thought, you know what? There's a little unfamiliarity there with the Atlanta hitters. There's also a lot of unfamiliarity there with Arizona facing Strider. And if Strider goes out there and throws 100 miles an hour and they can't hit him and he's on, I don't think this could be 0-0 after 5 innings. It could be. I mean, that's the way these guys pitch. So I think that number is not a good number. So I played it under the 4.5. So those are the only 2 plays I made. I looked at the Mets because the Mets are one of the best offenses right now. They're number 3 in offense, and they're going against Fetty. And I knew Fetty had a good outing the last time. My concern here is that if you're going to play this game, you're going to have to play it on the run line. So you got to cover the 1.5, or you got to cover the half a run in the first 5. And then when I looked at it, Peterson, he pitched a great start the last time out, but he really hasn't had to back those starts up yet. So he's made 4 starts this season, but he's never back-to-back started yet. Every time he's pitched, he was a fill-in, and then he didn't have to pitch again, and then they kept him up, and he relief pitched. So he hasn't thrown a back-to-back start, and I don't trust him in that spot. So, and I know Washington, and you know, this sounds silly, but a team that hasn't won very many games, but it's a team that can actually hit. So I'm going to leave that one off the board. I didn't like that one. Milwaukee, Ashby, and Smiley. And again, you know, if you wanted to play this game, I don't have any problem with you jumping on Ashby if that's what you want to do. But Milwaukee is like 26th in Major League Baseball hitting left-handed pitchers. So I stayed off of this one just for that reason, because I don't want them. They won the first game 7-6. And if they used up all their hits in the first game and they can't hit left-handed pitching, and you got to play them that way, I stayed off of this one. And I don't know. I don't know how you play the Dodgers. You get in there and do whatever you want to with the Dodgers, but you know it is what it is. And then the game that I was really confused about is this Baltimore-Boston game, because I was shocked when I looked at numbers. And Fangraphs has this thing where you can go in and you can look at probable pitchers for today, and they rank them based off of WAR numbers and all that shit. And Tyler Wells is number 2 for today. Number 2. He's the second best pitcher in terms of WAR today. And I'm going, what? There is no way a Baltimore Oriole pitcher can be that good. And that just threw me for a loop. I'm not touching this game for nothing. So I just looked at that and I said, I'm not going to go there either, because I don't trust the numbers. I don't, and that damn Baltimore team's been pretty pesky. I know they get beat, 12-2 and shit, but I mean they get behind and come back. I know that. They did that to the Yankees. They've done it to Boston a little bit. They've done it to everybody they played. So I didn't feel comfortable there. So I just played the Tampa Bay game. I played Atlanta, Arizona under, and I feel pretty good about those 2.
Short board, obviously, for us. I think the Peterson look I could understand in a run line first 5. I'm all set. Thank you. Milwaukee, Chicago. The Cubs, I'm not putting them in that Baltimore pesky, but they're thorns. They're pains in the asses. And I'm not. Milwaukee, like you said, struggling. They want you to bet Milwaukee tonight. I mean, it opened at 120. They're getting it's up to 125 or 130. So that number was set. It's doing its job. I couldn't touch it with your money. Atlanta, Arizona. I was curious because we have action on this game again. Big Gallon fan, huge Gallon fan.
Look, I like Arizona to win the game.
Well, we're on the other side. I think the Braves get it done. I think finally, where I'm going to compare this to? I'm going to compare it to the Astros again today. Astros were not hitting. They sleptwalked in Seattle. They finally get a 2-run homer by Alvarez. They get a homer by Altuve. They get another home run by Alvarez. I think this is the perfect series for Atlanta to get some stuff set up. Now, bullpen game versus Gallon. Will we see last game's Gallon, or are we going to see the Gallon that I've seen who's been lights out? Maybe this is a 1-0, 2-1 game. I think it's time for the Braves to wake up. I think this is a perfect spot for them there.
No question. Ozuna's hitting.
And
he's got like 10 or 12 home runs now or some crazy number.
Correct. And Pittsburgh and the Dodgers, whatever. You guys do whatever the hell you want with it. Baltimore, Boston. Rich Hill has been good.
Mm-hmm.
He gave up a 2-run homer in the 5th, his last start, to cost anyone that had the Sox first 5. The Sox are smashing. Again, the Orioles are pesky. You know, I keep waiting for the regression from Hill, from Walker, obviously from Pavetta, and you're just not getting it. So I stayed away there. And Tampa Bay, Texas, I'll be honest with you, Scott. Again, you know I can't pick totals. My eyes actually picked 3 totals over the weekend. I think this goes flying over 8, to be honest with you. I don't have any luck or any confidence with Rasmussen. And like you said, Otto's their worst pitcher, one of the worst in the majors. I think this game gets over 8 pretty easily. That's just me. But you guys know I can't pick totals. I cannot pick totals. Do not go play that. I'm just telling you what the eye sees and what I know from these two in the past. The hockey game tonight. Carolina, undefeated at home, currently 7-0 at home, 0-6 on the road. Opened up minus 148, now plus minus 145. Get the Rangers at plus 132. I'm hearing through our colleagues, if Carolina wins, they're going to open up minus 115 versus Tampa, and the whole world's going to run under the Tampa, and Tampa will close minus 115 or minus 120 in that series. There's only one guy that can keep Scotty's Tampa Bay Lightning going to their third cup, and that's the guy in net for the Rangers, Shesterkin. Now, he's going to have to give up 1 goal. They're going to have to win 2-1. If he gives up 2, the Rangers are going to have to get 3 or more. Doesn't happen in Carolina that often. Gun to my head, I think Hurricanes wake up and find a way. If you're asking me, you want some beer and pizza and some action on tonight's game, take the plus 132, take the plus 135. The kid, Shesterkin, is just amazing when he's on, and he's been on.
Sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
I don't know where that went through. Holy shit. Technology. Again, I think if you were looking for some action, grab the plus money, some beer and pizza money. I mean, Carolina and Tampa will be a decent series. I think the Lightning and Rangers would probably go about 6. And that would probably set up an Avs. Well, I'm hoping the Avs. We have the Avs in the Western and the Stanley Cup. Slept on Scotty's Lightning the first couple rounds, which is for another day. Closing thoughts.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day, guys, and always you've seen all the tributes and all the stuff out there, so I'm not going to be real sappy about all that stuff. But be be cognizant of what's going on and make sure that the people that are protecting you and the people that are protecting us, you give them the nod and you give them the hellos that they deserve because they're doing a lot of thankless things out there, and they need to be thanked because when you go through life and you aren't being thanked for things that you do, being taken for granted is not a fun place to be.
Yeah, I kind of know that, Scotty. It is Memorial Day. Had a nice cookout with the family. My brother-in-law served three times. He went over to Iraq. Nice to have him back on land and staying on land. A lot of people lost their lives in the wars, and I just want to thank them. It's amazing what a lot of people forget what Memorial Day actually stands for. And, as you said, a lot of ungrateful people. I think some of the ungrateful people are just, they don't mean it, but there's a lot of ungrateful people that do mean it. So with that, tomorrow, me and Riley will be back for the Breakfast Bankroll. Me and Scott will be back tomorrow night. On Wednesday, me and Riley in the morning for the bankroll. Andrew McGinnis at 1. Currently gonna have to be dark. Have an engagement that I currently can't get out of, Scott. But we'll talk about that after. Thursday, Julian Edlow. We're not sure if it's going to be in the morning. I think it's going to be at 1 o'clock. Myself and Scott in the morning, and myself and Scott at night. And trying to round up Mr. Jeffrey Benson from Circa. To close out the week, we'll have the 2:30 show with Dan Alexander and our lacrosse, talking Premier Lacrosse. So with that, if you are wagering tonight, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from the one and only Mr. Scott E. Webb at Webby20MLB, we wish everyone a blessed day. Have some fun with these tickets, and we'll see you bright and early in the morning.